Get ready. Get set. It's time for the basement view. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How y'all doing? Man, it's Friday. It is January 24th. We are almost out of January. How about that? We are almost out of January. Man, this is moving pretty quick. And I am so glad. I am so glad you would not believe it. Because I hate this time of weather. This time of season, that is. Anyway, how's everybody? Hey, Charles, what's happening, man? Glad you can make it. Hey, what's up, James? Right off the bat, I want to address the last episode right quick. Just in case any of you in the audience thought I was not being attentive, I apologize. As you make comments, sometimes I cannot get to all of them, to make a comment myself on it. I can't reply for one reason or another. And especially if there's a guest sitting here with me, I may not be able to reply to every comment. But if there's a comment that you really want me to reply to, just, re-enter it or remind me in some way, and I will check it out. Because I typically can see them all, and I try to react to them, So just on that note, don't think if I got somebody sitting there next to me that I'm not going to pay the audience any attention. Just want to get that out there because you all really make the show. And as far as I'm concerned, you can guide the show if you want. You can make any comments you want, and you can steer this thing if you want because it's all about us, the community. So that said, also, if you got any questions for me, go ahead and ask them. Don't be afraid to ask a question, because I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Also, subscribe, hit that thumbs up. There's a little bell on there. If you hit that bell, YouTube will remind you when I go live. Also, something I just found out. If you are watching YouTube on the TV, for some reason, YouTube doesn't allow you to make comments on the TV. I don't know why. And I found out that the only comments that are typically shown when you're watching on TV are any comments that somebody may have made to me after I was live. Because after I'm live, it actually posts like an upload, and you can still make comments. So, just so you know. How's everybody? I really appreciate y'all being here. Everything cool? Everything's cool with me. Also, I want to start off with a little story. So far, so good, James. Sounds good. Same here. I want to start off with a little story. And sometimes my stories get a little long-winded. I wanted to make this a short episode, but You never know when I get to running my mouth. Anyway, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine a few days ago, and I got a revelation that all these years I've been alive, I didn't know. We got on the subject of shopping. And all my life, I thought when someone was going shopping, they were going because they needed something. There was something they thought about and they needed it and they went shopping. And that may have been because of my upbringing. Wasn't a bunch of money in our house, so every time my mom went shopping, there was something she actually needed. It was either food or clothing for one of us or something. There was an actual need. So my entire life, I've been thinking that when I hear somebody say, I'm going shopping, I thought there was an initial need. Now, I do understand that once you are in a store, it's a great chance you're going to buy more than what you went there for. Of course, that's just the way we are. Now, it was revealed to me that there are those of you who get up either in the morning, on the weekend, or after work, or whatever, just for the sole purpose of going in a store with no actual need involved. Was that a wild moment for me? I literally didn't know that. You know, and I guess it's something I never thought about. And it immediately made me think of a couple of things. The first thing it made me think of was a conversation that I had with a friend of mine some years back. And that brought it to light. This friend of mine years back, we were talking on the phone, and upon getting to the end of the conversation, she said to me, well, I got $1 left. I might as well go up here to the dollar store. And I said, you getting ready to go to the dollar store? She said, yeah, I am. I ain't got nothing but $1, but I'm going to go on up here. And back then, I thought, she got to be kidding me. All right, talk to you later, But when I had this conversation the other day, I realized, wow, people do. Now, I've never done this. I have literally never just went to a store for the hell of it, just because it's a store, or just to pass the time away. I've never done that. And I literally never thought that that's what people did. And it was a wild moment for me, but it also, the second thing it brought to mind is that, right, Charles, it also brought to mind that has to be the most wealth draining idea I've ever heard. Those of us that are not billionaires, we work pretty hard for our money. Most of the time when we go to work, we're usually doing a job that is not the most satisfying job in the world. When I came up, I wanted to be a pilot. I ended up an electrician in the steel mill. Okay. But there's a lot of jobs out there that people do, and they work hard, don't really care for the job, don't care for the people they work around, don't really care for the bosses. And you got to schedule your own life. It amazes me that if you add all that together, at the end of the day, when you get your paycheck, you are going to voluntarily, with no need in mind, just get up and go to a store just to see what's in the store. And in all probability, start transferring your wealth to this store for no reason at all. If you want to be poor, that's the way to do it. Okay, if the goal is to be poor, that is the way to ensure you will be poor. Okay? It's just no way around it. You know, and they will gladly take your money. Different strokes for different folks. I get that, James. I get that, James. We all spend our money on something. Okay? We all spend our money on something. But the point I'm making is, you know, this is not, I'm not beating somebody over the head and saying, shame on you, and pointing the finger at you. I am providing a very informed thought for you to chew on. If you want to be poor, get up and just for the hell of it, go shopping when you have no need for anything. We all know if you need a pair of shoes for something, you're going to go into a shoe store or a department store, and in all likelihood, you are going to come out with something that you didn't intend to get. Oh, well. That's just the way we are, right? Nothing wrong with that. But understand something. There's all sorts of stuff in all sorts of stores. And they made that way for you to bring them your wealth and transfer it to them. Okay? That's the sole purpose. It's so you won't have any. Well, I know there are those that will feel like I'm chastising, but I'm not chastising. I am just informing because life is too hard for us. We work too hard to just go give it away when we didn't have to be there. And if giving your money away has become an outing for you, if you have substituted happiness or satisfaction with doing something with transferring your wealth to a store that you didn't need to be in, you may want to rethink that. Just saying. What you say, James? Come over here and give me some of that cash, huh? See, you know, it's easy for us to be poor, especially if we're going to make it so, you know. And we're all guilty of spending our money frivolously at times. But let's not make that the practice, okay? Let's make that the exception, not the practice. And I tell you what, if I think of every time I heard, and most of the time, okay, let's be honest, men do it and women do it. Every time I've ever heard it, I'm going shopping, it was a woman saying it. Now, I may say, I'm getting ready to go grocery shopping, and that's what I'm getting ready to do. I need some groceries. If I need shoes, I'm going to buy a pair of shoes. Now, I do know there are women, and men probably, that love shoes and just go buy shoes. Trust me, I know people that do that. I don't know why. I remember a situation where I saw totes and totes and totes and totes full of shoes. You will be poor if that is your pleasure. Okay? Just saying. All right. I'm going to get off of that. And that's the reason. Trust me, that's the reason that I started doing the little session of investing information, because there's a much better place to put money that you would otherwise go to the store with, And if you actually, get a relationship with your money like you got a relationship with that store, you will have a whole lot more of it. Because, trust me, money makes friends. If you send your money out there to work, it'll make a lot of little monies. It'll go out there and make little baby monies. And you'll like that a whole heck of a lot more. Trust me. So, I'm gonna get off of that, because I don't want nobody to be mad at me, thinking I'm chastising, because I'm not chastising. It's just a fact. It's just again, I was blown away just at the thought, and it just harkened me back to every time I heard somebody say, I'm getting ready to go shopping. I'm wondering now if every time I heard that, it was somebody going to the store for no reason at all, just to see what's in the store. I guarantee you, any store I go in, I'm going to see something I want. I've never been in a store that I never saw anything I wanted. So if I go to the store, I'm going to spend some money, which brings me to an old saying. A fool and his money shall soon be parted. Anyway, all right, I'm done. I promise I'm done. Anyway, did anybody hear about the lady down in Indianapolis sitting at the gas station got attacked by one of the old Trump supporters? I'm going to play this clip because somebody sent it to me and it blew me away. I'm going to play this clip and you tell me what you think.
This evening, a 60-year-old North Carolina man is behind bars in Marion County after he was caught on camera threatening a woman at gunpoint. The video you see there, this happened right outside of a busy gas station on Indy's northeast side.
Yeah, tonight, Fox 59's Jesse Wells is talking with the man who recorded that video, and he joins us now to explain what happened. Jesse.
Luckily, no one was seriously injured during the armed confrontation here in this gas station parking lot behind me, but witnesses hope the crime serves as a lesson to everyone to settle their conflicts without picking up a firearm.
Overhearing an argument Tuesday night outside a speedway at 56th and Emerson, a witness started recording a fight on his phone between a woman sitting in her car and a man standing next to her door.
Hey, bro! Hey!
Multiple witnesses began yelling for help after the man pulled out a gun and violently pointed the weapon at the victim's head.
She didn't do anything to show signs of aggression, so he definitely took it to the extreme.
Kevin Edwards recorded the fight and watched the armed suspect repeatedly threaten to shoot the woman at point-blank range.
That was completely unnecessary to pull a firearm.
I don't know why you're pointing your gun like you're a cop or something.
The suspect, 60-year-old Mark White, held the woman at gunpoint as they argued for several more minutes until police arrived.
That's why I was saying on the recording, who the hell does this guy think he is, you know?
Once on scene, officers arrested White for intimidation and battery with a deadly weapon, as well as criminal recklessness and strangulation. According to court records, the argument started after White honked his horn several times at the victim, who was sitting at one of the gas pumps. The woman admitted she did have a gun, but she never pointed it at the suspect.
Hey, man, don't do that, man. Get off her, man.
Kevin says he's just relieved no shots were ever fired.
I'm just glad that could have been worse. I would sleep better if just one person would realize that you have so much to lose and it can happen so fast. So just think about your actions before you make them.
Finally, the suspect is being held on a $30,000 bond pending the filing of formal charges. Jesse Wells, Fox 59 News.
Well, what do you know about that? You know, if that didn't make my blood boil. Say the flim-flam effect? Yes. That is exactly what that is. The flim-flam effect. Man, that made my blood boil. Just for the sole reason this guy felt comfortable doing this to this woman. Well, no, they didn't say he was a Trump supporter, but if you look at it again, look in the window of the truck. Okay, that was actually pointed out to me. If you look in the window of the truck, you can see why that's the thought. So, but whether he's a Trump supporter or not, it was for no reason. The woman didn't do anything to him. And it was, if you could see, it was a young black girl. Okay? He felt comfortable doing that to a young black girl. And she was scared to death. And they say she had a gun, but she never pulled it. Well, she was scared to death probably. You know, anybody would be once the gun is upped on you. You know, you really ain't going to reach for your gun while one's actually being pointed at you. Personally, one never knows what one is going to do in that situation. There's all sorts of talk about what I would have done. I ain't going to get into the what I would have done stuff because you'll surprise yourself when you're in that situation. You may not do what you think you would, you know. So, but the fact that he felt so comfortable doing that to her, there's going to be a lot of that going on. We better get used to that idea. There's going to be a lot of that going on. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's just the way it is. There should be, among the non-MAGA, there should be a fire burning, but there isn't. The MAGA side literally has a fire burning all day long, every day. And yeah, that's what America voted for. Absolutely. That's what America voted for. But we got to understand, there's something missing here. That is what that America voted for. See? There's another side of America that is stone quiet. And I mean just uninterested. The oh well generation. There's no fire. It's really sad to see. While I was thinking about what I was going to talk about today, I ran across a man that said it just right. He said it absolutely what I was thinking. And I'm going to play that here in a second. But there's no urgency. There's no fire. There's no, again, I hearken it back to, you say, James, just like the folks were in Germany. Absolutely. Absolutely like 1930s Germany. Everyone stood around and watched Hitler become Hitler. Everybody stood around and said, well, it ain't gonna be that bad. Well, it ain't gonna be that bad. If you knew the damage this dude has done in the last 4 days, you just wouldn't believe it, because it hasn't came home yet. In the last 4 days, this man has done some terrible shit. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's just the way it is. So I'm going to play this. Excuse me if I sniff. Woke up today and had a little case of the sniffles. Here's what it is. I'm going to play this clip. Have a listen and chew on it a little bit.
I'm Vic Myers. Welcome to the Resistance. So during the campaign, Felon 47 told us that he was going to pardon the J6 crew, and I was kind of holding out a little bit of hope that he was just saying that to make sure that all the treason block of his voters actually showed up, and they did. I was kind of hoping it'd be like so many things he does, and promise one thing and then not do it, but no, he went ahead and pardoned him first thing. As a veteran from a long line of veterans going back to the Revolutionary War, it leaves me speechless. And the thing that is just really getting under my skin isn't that, I mean, we expect crap like that from him. It's no surprise, really. The thing that's getting me is the quietness, if you will, of the American people about this. the headlines, which basically says, yep, so what? Where's the outrage? I mean, people like you and me, we're outraged. But where's the congressional outrage? Where's the Fourth Estate? For those of you who don't know, the Fourth Estate's our media. Where's their outrage? It doesn't exist. And when I talked to my wife about this the other night at dinner, her reaction to it is, yeah. When I asked her if she saw the fascist salute that Muskrat gave, she's like, yeah. And it drives me crazy that she's not angry like I am, because she loves our country just as much as I do. Her dad was a Vietnam veteran. All of her uncles were Vietnam veterans. There's a lot of military service in her family, just like mine. But her reaction is, yeah. And I don't understand it. I did a lot of thinking on that. And, you know, the World War II generation, that was the greatest generation. They went overseas and they liberated Europe from fascism. In the 60s and 70s, they had the make love, not war generation, right? Protests like crazy, protest music. They did something. My generation, though, what is my generation? They're the, oh well, generation. And that's what really gets under my skin about all this. We got to do better, folks, because it's only going to get worse until we do. That's about all I can bear to say on this. Good day.
Hey, Lisa. Glad y'all could make it. Ain't nothing wrong with being late. Better late than never. But he summed it up absolutely. I mean, you couldn't put it any better. It's only going to get worse, you know? And we better make up our minds real quick, you know, if we're going to get that fire in the belly, you know? And I think I never put a lot of faith in the media in the first place. But they fail miserably in their jobs. And we already know what that is. It's money. You know, the corporate boss, you know, don't want you to do or say something. What do I recommend that we do? Well, I recommend that you be ready. I recommend that you make up your mind that when you hear a call, you are going to hear a call. Trust me on this one. Trust me on this. You're going to hear a call because it's going to get ugly. And there's going to be a call. Be ready. Be pissed off enough to answer the call. Okay? That's what you need to do. I'm not saying get up right now and go out in the middle of the street like Yosemite Sam, rooting and tooting and shooting. I'm saying be ready. Because understand something. Enrique Tarrio and old Stuart Rhodes, they've already came in front of the camera and said it. There will be retribution. These guys don't have a problem with going out and taking aim at people and carrying out an act. Okay? These people have volunteered to be that guy's army to do bad shit. Okay? And they're more than willing to do it. Willing and ready. And planning. Right, James? They're planning right now. They've been planning the entire time. Because when they get the call, they move. You saw what they did January 6th. When they get the call, they move. Understand something. We are going to get a call. You better be pissed off enough to answer it. Because it's only going to get worse. They're going to be doing stuff that you never really thought about. Now, I tell you what. I tell you who I really like. I like the French. Has anybody ever watched when the French do a strike? When the French people get upset with the government, they will literally shut the country down. They won't care about bills getting paid. They won't care about the lights getting turned off. They will park their car in the middle of the street. They will park the buses. They will park the tractor trailers. They will stop the train, get off the train, and walk away and leave it. When their government does something, that's what they will do. What do you say, James? If you're not ready, you'll get swallowed up. Absolutely. If you're not ready, and I'm saying this to give you a measure of how serious this is. We talk about this all the time, and a lot of times I get the feeling that a lot of us don't get where we need to be right now. You know, if there is a fear in you or a bit of doubt about things they may or may not do, you can lose that. You can miss me with that, because these people are showing you. There's no doubt about what they intend to do. I'm sure you've heard today about them putting immigrants in military transports and just flying them out the country. Right? So they've done that. Oh, they've been going up into businesses already and rounding people up in businesses and taking them out. They've already started. Now that's what they're doing to the immigrants. And Tom Homan today said, hey, it's only going to get wider. Okay? He says right now it's kind of narrow, but it's getting wider every day. Now, no, that doesn't bother me. I'm not an immigrant. They're not going to take me and throw me on a plane. Okay, I get it. But trust me, that's going to lead to bad news. That's going to lead to some bad stuff. he also literally wrote an executive order to stop any government hiring, stop any DEI initiatives, stop any civil rights cases, stop any agreements that the Justice Department has had with police stations around the country about reforming police stations and tactics. Okay? They put a stop to any of that. Okay? Already. Okay? When the Justice Department, has stepped in and said the police station, has to reform this, and this, he just canceled all of that. So the police stations can go back to acting the way they want. The officers can go back to business as usual. Okay? Yes, James, that is the Project 2025 playbook. I wish you would have left that up there, Lisa. There is some bad times coming. And again, I'm not harping on this to make you afraid. I want you to be mad, and I want you to be ready. Do I think that there are quite a few Republicans who will not allow these shenanigans to happen? Hey, Ronnie, be woke. Yes. No. The unfortunate part about the Republicans who will not allow this, where are they? They are not speaking up. Okay? They're not there. And I'm going to say it this way. I was having a conversation with a Republican one time. And I asked him, I says, hey, is your neighbor a racist? And he says, no, I don't think so. And I said, what do you mean you don't think so? He said, no, he's not a racist. I said, well, how do you know? He said, well, I just know it. Yeah, Lisa, I know it's terrifying. Don't be scared. Get mad. Well, I asked this guy, have you ever asked him if he was racist? Have you ever asked him how he felt about black people? He goes, no, I've never done that. I said, well, why don't you, next time you see him, ask him how he feels about black people. He goes, nah, I'm not going to do that. Why won't you do that? Nah, I ain't going to ask him that, And I said to him, okay, don't worry about it, because I know why you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it because you're afraid. There are a bunch of Republicans that are afraid. Okay? So they're not going to be doing anything to stop it. I told this guy, I said, you're either afraid of finding out that he's a racist, or you're afraid of the fact that you found out and now you have to make a decision about yourself. You see? So it's a bunch of them that are afraid. I would not at all wait for anyone who brands himself a Republican to, now there may be, tons of Republicans that stand up when the call is sent out to do whatever needs to be done. But 75 million wanted this. And every time I've heard anybody interview any one of them, every one of them said they were ready to put their life on the line for this dude. Every one of them was ready to go to war. Every one of them was ready for it to be a civil war. They literally said, I'm ready for a civil war. It needs to be a civil war. Now, there's two things that could stop that from ever happening. There's two things. That is, those people wake up and realize they've been conned. That could happen. I hope that happens. A lot of them are waking up today and finding out that they were conned. But remember, you can just start off with that 1,500, 1,600 that were released from prison who were ready to die for the dude in the first place. And now he's patted them on the back and sent them home. And there's been numbers of them talking about, now I can go out and get some more guns. Okay? So, unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to be enough of them that wake up. The other thing that will stop a civil war is something that one of them said, one of the politicians said, and he said there could be a civil war, but there's one way to avoid it. And that's if they just lay down and let it happen. If they just lay down, the other side just lay down and let us do what we intend to do. What say you? You tell me. I think these people got their mind made up. And it is terrifying. But it also enough to piss you off. You got to get pissed off and be ready when the call comes. Now, that call might be to just go out in the street and march. Be ready and get ready to go march. But the call is going to come. Because this guy ain't going to stop. He's got no stop now. I'm just saying. Again, this wasn't meant to terrify you. This is information. And this is, I want it to be a wake-up call. That there needs to be a fire inside of us. And we need to tap the guy next to us on the shoulder that is in our circle and let them people know that they need to get a fire. Okay? And be ready. Because there's going to be a call. It's coming. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's coming. Now, one thing I'm going to advocate for right here and now, I'm going to advocate for this. Everybody that's listening to this, do yourself a favor. I'm going to put this out there right now. Go online right now, and this is just in case, okay? I think everybody out there right now should do one thing for sure. And I'm going to add a second one to that. But one thing for sure, go online and buy you some body armor. Okay? It's free, and it's not free, but it's available to the general public. They got soft body armor that will protect you. It's level 3. You want to look for level 3 body armor. It's the kind that can go under your shirt. Most people will never know you got it on. Go out and buy it just in case. Because in the neighborhoods anyway, there ain't no telling when one of these fools would just run up out of nowhere. They going into supermarkets, churches, gas stations, okay? There's no telling where a damn bullet might come from and you weren't the target, okay? Go get you some body armor online. It's not very expensive. You can wear it under your clothes, you know. Do that. Do that for you, you know. We all need that. Even if the MAGAs don't do anything, we need that because it's just too many of them flying around hitting the wrong people. Hey, like the lady on vacation. It was a Chicago county sheriff on vacation at the restaurant, got hit by a bullet and killed. Now, she was out of the country. She was down in the Caribbean. But, hey, I don't think it matters. Put it on. Like James say, gotta have insurance. Gotta have that insurance. Better safe than be sorry. Right. Now, hey, if you don't want a gun, don't get one. You know, if you don't want a gun, no problem. You know, don't get one. But I do advocate for having body armor, you know, because this is the wild, wild west in America. You know, all of the states is open carry now. You don't have to have any license, any training to have a gun out on the street. That's how this idiot was running around intimidating women at a gas station. Now, who pulls a gun on a woman at a gas station? Just 'cause you mad. Really? Ladies, go get you some body armor. Just so you got it on. You know? Just in case. Now, the second thing I just thought about that I actually ordered yesterday. No, day before yesterday. It came today. I started a long time ago, actually, ordering sustainable food. They got 2 or 3 brands. You can find it at Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops, all the sporting good places. Sell the ready-to-eat food, the 25-year storable food. I'd get some of that, you know, because this thing with the immigrants, food supply may get kind of thin. And they don't seem to care. They don't seem to care. They got their mind made up. He promised his group that he's going to run all the immigrants out of the country. All the brown ones, anyway. So, try and start making it a practice to get some of that storable food. They got companies like Mountain House. You'll find it at the sporting goods stores, or you could go online and just Google survival food or sustainable food, stuff like that, camping food, that kind of stuff, and start buying some, just so you have it, you know, just in case some kind of emergency goes down. It's better to have it than to not have it. And the stuff actually tastes pretty good. I've had it before. I've been buying the stuff for quite a while, and I keep some on hand. That and canned goods, okay? Just so you got something to eat. So anyway, you know, as usual, I started talking. Didn't intend to run my mouth this long, but the things that I have been seeing as a result of his executive orders over the last 4 days have been mind-boggling, okay? And they're promising that this is just the beginning. And remember, the Project 2025 handbook addresses the first 100 days. Okay? They plan to be getting down and dirty within 100 days. And they seem to be on schedule. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm going to stop right there. Hope I didn't mess y'all weekend up. I do appreciate y'all for tuning in and paying me some attention. What you say, Charles, his executive order still have to go through the courts? Well, yes. But trust me, Charles, they understand that. The problem with it is, number one, once it's in the court system, the Republican judges can sit on it. Number two, while it's in the court system, he's free to go out and do whatever it is that they're suing for in the court system. So, Charles, while it's in the court, he can still be doing it. And number three, for those that might say, well, what if a Democratic judge either issue an injunction for him not to do something or tell him he can't do it? Remember, the Supreme Court told him he has immunity and can do whatever he wants. Okay? Keep that in mind. This is the reason he's doing all of this, so it can gum up the court system. Once the court system gets all of this stuff and it's gummed up and not moving, because that's their plan. They want the Republican judges. There are a lot of MAGA judges out there, and they will get the case and sit on it. Just so in the meanwhile, go ahead and do what you want to do. That's the plan. Trust me, it's going to get to the point where you're going to get that call. I'm just saying, be ready. Or, like James said, Don't get swallowed up. Don't get left behind. You know, when the marches start, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say it'll probably start with marches. When the marches start, go out and march. Because the only thing that's going to help is if the numbers are right. You know, if you stay home and you help make the numbers low, then the march won't work. They won't pay the march any attention. And if you're out there marching, have your insurance on. Okay? There's nothing like having insurance on, if you know what I'm saying. So, this was just a little prep talk. Not a pep talk, but a prep talk. Oh, also, store you up some water. We always need some water. So they sell containers, 5-gallon containers. And let me tell you something, funny thing. Some years back when, I used to buy these 5-gallon containers because I've been storing water for years. I'm sort of a prepper. The storage containers were $6. And I used to go in Walmart and get them. Went in Walmart one time. The storage container was $15. I said, how did it go from 6 to 15? People started understanding that they needed to store water. And those corporate bastards ran the price up on us. I don't know what they are now. I keep a ton of water stored. You can treat it, so it'll be good. You know, I recycle it every 5 years. That's what I would do if I were you. Anyway, been on here long enough. I appreciate y'all. It's Friday. Don't let this mess your weekend up. I didn't want to put you in a down mood. I just want to make you mad. I want to make you understand that you need to be mad. Period. And on that note, I'm going to say thank y'all. I'm going to get out of here and go do my thing. Hope y'all have a good weekend. Hope I see you right here Monday. Okay? Y'all take it easy.